All right, I have joining me this morning Mr. Lou Giavasis, who is running for re-election for council at large. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Pam.
So, I don't want to say you've been around a long time, but you have been around a long time.
I have. I'm guilty.
So, for folks who are just seeing you, maybe for the first time, or don't know a whole lot about you, let's talk a little bit about, your where you grew up, and maybe a little bit about your political career, which could take a little while, but discuss that for us.
I grew up here in Canton. We grew up over there by Taggart's Ice Cream on Fulton Road. Uh, Went to Summit Elementary School, went to Lehman Junior High, graduated from Canton McKinley. Had a short stint in the United States Navy, got out, got married, never left. Um, Ran for office my first time in 1992 for Plain Township trustee. Seems like
Yeah,
it
a
was
long time
decades. It
ago.
was a long
Yeah.
time ago. Funny story about that. When I ran the first time, I don't think anybody was expecting me to win. I don't think I was expecting to win myself. I remember election night, my dad, we were at Judge Poulis's um, election night party, and my dad says, you may want to come upstairs. I go, why? He goes, I think you won. So that was the start of it all. I ran 6 more times as Plain Township trustee. I was there for 24 years. I hope to believe that I left a place better than I found it. During that time, I got firsthand knowledge from paving streets, all types of infrastructure, whether it be water line extension, sanitary sewer, storm sewer. In 1992, when I took over, the storm sewer system in Plain Township was antiquated. Township would flood if we'd get a half inch of rain. Um, we progressively replaced all that infrastructure. We repaved all our streets. All our roads were chip and seal at the time. Now they're all asphalt. I think today Plain Township is probably still one of the better maintained communities as far as roads and infrastructure in the county. Um, uh, Served as the president of the board. Out of those 24 years, probably 18 of them. Um, so I got a pretty good knowledge of how local government operates. Now, when I came to city council, it was a little bit alien to me at first because it operates a little bit differently.
Yeah.
In the township, you have 3 individuals. We act as council and mayor. Now we have 12 council people. So I think over the years, my ability to collaborate with different individuals from different communities, whether it be townships and cities, Democrat, Independent, Republican, um, I think really prepared me for council because you have to build coalitions and you have to cooperate and you have to learn. It's not anybody that's running for council says, I'm going to do this. They don't know yet because you're not going to do anything on your own. It takes a collaboration of at least 7 to 9 people.
Yeah.
Um, Instead of getting 1 or 2 others in a township, it's a little bit more difficult to get things done. I think my life experience through local government prepared me for that because I'm able to get along with people enough to work with them to make sure that we're getting the things done that benefits the city. It takes the individual agenda totally out of it because you have to work together.
Right. Right.
And for some people, that's difficult because you go into a situation, it's everybody has their agenda. Sometimes you have to be able to compromise, um, and find some place in the middle. But as long as it keeps progressing the whole story forward, it's worth it. Sometimes you're going to get things done that you want. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than others. Other members on council, they got great ideas. Their idea might be better than mine. Um, so you got to be able to do that type of thing. And I think when I was in the clerk of court's office, managing a staff of 72 people um, from all walks of life, uh, I don't think any college degree could have gave me that experience alone just in the clerk's office for 15 years and then 5 years as a clerk.
What would you say is your vision for Canton? I mean, obviously, as you're saying, you've got it has to be a joint vision among council members and the mayor, and everybody has to work together. But, if you had that pencil to sign off on something on your own, what kinds of things would you like to see?
I would like to focus more on roads, infrastructure, and neighborhoods. I think the city has made some great strides with downtown Canton. We continue to. I know the Hall of Fame is really starting to come around, um, but all roads lead to both those places. And we have to start focusing on the neighborhoods. The infrastructure in some of the neighborhoods are really disintegrating. We have to work on allocating the proper amount of resources towards safety services in those neighborhoods. And I'm not just talking about policing. I'm talking about community policing, where the police officers are actually getting to know the people living there, kind of like it was when I was a kid growing up. I don't think we're going to have beat cops walking the street like we did back then, but there's nothing wrong with the police officers getting to know the areas that they're patrolling and getting to know the people that are in those communities. So if something's happening, they run to them, they don't run away from them. That's something in my conversations with Billy Shear. He agrees 100%. We really have to start focusing on the neighborhoods and the safety and making people feel comfortable where they live.
Do you hear from constituents when we have these, shootings
Every day,
over and over?
every day. Um, the city safety director, she now sends us a text every time there's a shooting, because there was a bunch of us that went there. We said, hey, we're tired of finding out about this in social media. We want to know about it ahead of time. So I see how many there are. Sometimes they don't make the news, but there's several, sometimes several a day. And we have to get a handle on that. We really have to start addressing the root cause. Arresting isn't always just the answer. We have to start addressing the root cause. That's whether it's the neighborhood stability, providing jobs, providing programs and things for the kids to do in those neighborhoods, other than the activity that's taking place right now. Um, so we really have to start devoting the resources to address those issues instead of band-aiding them.
Now, there are several to choose from when it comes to council at large when folks go to the ballot box. What's the reason why they should choose you?
Um, Good question, because I'm not one of those type of people who says choose me over one of them, because I think all 7 people are great people. Um, I don't think the city would do an injustice by electing any of the 7, the 3 of the out of those 7. They all have great ideas. They all come to the table wanting to serve, um, which it's great when you have 7 people that want to do it. Unfortunately, only 3 can. Um, I think my experience of getting things done and working with others over the years, I think, you know, I'm not coming to the table with a giant wish list. I'm coming to the table with a certain amount of knowledge about how to work with other members of council to get some of these things done, I guess. When new people come in, they're gun ho. They're not always going to get the things done they want to get. They can get disappointed, they get disenchanted. There's a big learning curve. But I think every one of us running a large would do a good job. This is not a life and death situation for me any longer. I do this because I want to do it. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm not doing it for the popularity. Um, I moved back to Canton specifically because I wanted to help bring the city forward. We're never going to get it back to where we was in the 70s and the 80s, but we have to take it to the next step. We have to prepare it and actually bring the city into the 21st century. Um, and whether that be through technology and various other methods, we have to move the city forward. I could have moved anywhere in the county I wanted to when I retired. I moved back to Canton. I moved back to Canton because I wanted to serve. And if I'm lucky enough to get reelected, I'll work the same way that I did for the last 30 years. I'll go to work every day. I'll do my job. I'll answer phone calls. I'll go to people's houses. I'll answer emails. You might not always get the answer that you want from me. I'd rather tell somebody the truth than tell them what they want to hear. If there's a project, some people tell you, oh yeah, we'll get that done couple weeks, couple months. As you know, through Oakwood Plaza, I learned a hard lesson through that.
Yeah.
Took 20 years. But look at Oakwood Square Plaza today.
Yeah.
And this was a facility everybody thought it was crazy. They wanted it torn down. They wanted to build houses. Now it's the center hub of the township. They've done a great job redeveloping that plaza. So sometimes things take time. And I think my experience has taught me to tell people it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen next week. Might not be for a year or two. Might not be for 5 years.
Yeah.
But we'll get it done. Everybody wants stuff done now. Um, I guess that's
Your experience then is what you, yeah.
yeah. I mean, it just
You
things
know
aren't
how
going
it
to get
works.
done. They're not going to get done now. I
Yeah.
mean, but we will get them done. It'll take time.
Very good.
And that, you have to prioritize things too as a city. Council members have their own their list of priorities, and you have to take those lists and put them together and prioritize them when they need done and how they get done. I mean, but they'll get done.
Well, we thank you for coming in this morning. Appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. I was glad to be here.